What is good, you guys? Welcome to the Red Dragon Sportscast with me, your host Mike from Ivor Reacts. Now, what a week of sport it has been! FA Cup fourth round replays, the Super Bowl, the RBS Six Nations opening rounds, Premier League football, and a boxing match between two YouTubers in KSI and Joe Weller. Now, it's time to get into it. First thing, we're going to start off with the Super Bowl. And first of all, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles on securing their very first Super Bowl ever. And what fashion to do it in, because this was the first Super Bowl that I actually stayed up and sat down and watched, and I was in for an absolute treat. It was faster pace than what I expected. It was very fast paced. Tom Brady, he was on point with the throws. Nick Foles was also on point, and no lie, all the hype that surrounded Tom Brady going into this, right? I was expecting him to pull something out of the bag in that final quarter, but unfortunately I think the pressure may have got to him, or his hand injury was starting to bug him a little bit. I mean, we don't know, only Tom Brady will know for sure, but still, you can't take anything away from the Philadelphia Eagles. They pulled out the bag. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, both offensive lines in both teams were phenomenal, and the defense for both teams, it wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. There were yards being made. I mean, I think this broke records for the most yards made in a Super Bowl, and I'm not gonna lie, there was a hell of a lot of yardage made in this game. So the defenses, they weren't brilliant, but the Philadelphia Eagles defense pulled out the bag in the fourth and final quarter, able to get the only sack in the game on Tom Brady in the dying moments of the game, able to turn it over to allow Philadelphia to secure that victory. But you know what? It was a very good first Super Bowl for me. I might watch it again next year, because I'm hoping I'm going to keep this sportscast going, which means that when the NFL season starts back up again, we're going to be looking into it. But yeah, Philadelphia Eagles, though, they thoroughly deserved that win. I'm not going to lie, it was a hell of a game. MVP for me was Foles. The man, he was on point with his throwing, and you gotta love it. Congrats once again to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I'm gonna get into the YouTube boxing fight between KSI and Joe Weller. Now, I did not watch any of the undercard fights, so I'm not gonna comment on any of them. I'm just gonna comment on the main event: Joe Weller versus KSI. Now, I done a reaction back when they went face to face at the Upload event, and I wasn't too impressed with all their little pushing and shoving and that. I mean, if you're gonna get in each other's faces and that, and act hard, swing a punch. I mean, if it's titled as a fight, chuck the hands in. That's what I mean. Now, I saw the press conference the day before, the weigh-in and everything, and Joe Weller, he said this fight will show the difference between an actor and an athlete. And I'm not being funny. It seemed like he was on point with that, because I'm not gonna lie, Joe Weller, it's a boxing match, you gotta throw punches to win it, but I mean, the first round, I reckon KSI absolutely outboxed you all over the ring, and you were the one giving it the big I am as an athlete. I mean, KSI just mugged you off in all 3 rounds, and he thoroughly deserved that win. But here's the thing, right? I don't rate this boxing match. I wasn't expecting it to be all professional. I wasn't expecting it to be like Mayweather, back in his prime and against Pacquiao. I wasn't expecting that kind of fight. What I was expecting was, two guys, just launching haymakers at each other. I was expecting some heavy shots, and we did get some heavy shots in the first round. But I mean, as soon as that first round was over, Joella barely threw a punch. The referee should have stopped that in the second round. Joe, you wasn't throwing any punches back. You wasn't even defending yourself. I mean, to me, the other 2 rounds, it wasn't even a fight. It wasn't even a boxing match. It was just one guy punching and beating the crap out of the other guy. That's from where I was sitting. Some people, they rate it differently. I rated that match, out of 5, I rated it 2. And I'm being generous with a 2. Because, the build up for this, you were expecting a fight. And, it wasn't delivered. It wasn't delivered, in my personal opinion. The fight that was hyped up beyond all belief, it just wasn't worth it. It really wasn't. So, that is my thoughts on the KSI Joella fight. I mean, he had that title, that championship belt that the KSI got right now. I mean, that looks kind of nice. And is he challenged YouTubers now. He actually challenged quite a few. And I'm hoping this could actually be a proper thing right now, where YouTubers step up and actually challenge for that title. Obviously, this will probably be like a title for YouTubers who are on that kind of level with these guys, well over a couple of mil subscribers. I'm not expecting KSI to turn around and start scrapping around with someone, let's say, who got like 2,000 subscribers. I'm not expecting that, and to be honest, I don't think any of you guys would be expecting that either. But the challenges he made, to both of the Paul brothers, I would love to see that fight. I think he made a challenge to Rio Ferdinand as well. Now, Rio Ferdinand, an absolute legend in the world of football, and he's trying that Betfair, boxing contender thing right now. He's transitioning very well from the looks of things. That could be a very tasty fight. That could be a very tasty fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But respect to both guys. They put in the time to train that, and they showed respect after the fight. There was no saltiness about it, and that's kind of what you want to see from competitors now. Talk all the crap before the fight, but after the fight's over, better man won, KSI won, show respect, lovely stuff. You guys, you done yourselves proud up there. But Joe, next time you're in a boxing match, but throw a couple more punches, don't keep your guard down. That's just an easy way for you to just get knocked the F out, So, as we move on, what should we move on to next? Should we talk about the Six Nations? Or should we talk about some football? That is the question. And to be honest, we're going to talk about the football. Yes, we are. Let me just get these results up a sec, because obviously there's FA Cup and Premier League, and I watched Match of the Day, but Match of the Day only gives you partly what went on. But we're gonna persevere right now. So let's have a look at Saturday's games. Right, Burnley, congratulations lads, congratulations, because you were able to hold Man City to a 1-1 draw at home. And Burnley, right, they're very decent at home, so respect to Burnley for that. Man City gained 1 point instead of 3. That's 2 points dropped, in my opinion, for Man City. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to go into the people who scored the goals, and you know, I'm trying to keep this, you know, quite precise and everything. Anyway, Bournemouth able to get a 2-1 victory over Stoke at home. So a nice little 3-pointer right there for Bournemouth. Congrats to you. Brighton able to get a 3-1 victory against West Ham United. And that was to me, that's quite a shock, guys. I mean, West Ham are no pushovers. But, you know, Brighton at home team advantage. You gotta love it. Leicester City, the team that after an absolutely amazing season, winning the Premiership, you know, I mean, they got into the Champions League, they got knocked out, obviously, I mean, as Leicester. But I think reality has now just sunk back down to Leicester. I mean, they're no longer a top flight team, and they got a 1-1 draw against Swansea City. Now, for those who don't know, I mean, I support all the Welsh teams except for Swansea. I'm not a fan of Swansea at all. So for me, Leicester, why didn't you get a win? I mean, it was only one extra goal you needed. Come on, lads, don't let Swansea get a point. But you know what? We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to Manchester United against Huddersfield. And Manchester United able to get a 2-0 win. That means that they closed the gap to Man City in the Premiership by 2 points, and that's important because they gotta keep it interesting, right? You know, I think Man City are a little bit too far ahead, but if they keep slipping up and getting draws instead of wins, you never know what could happen at the end of the season. Also, West Bromwich Albion versus Southampton. 3-2 to Southampton, so that's an impressive win for Southampton right there. I think it was a very unlucky game for West Brom, but you know, before the game I would have backed Southampton anyway for it. And Everton, what happened? You go to Arsenal, you go there looking for a game, and what happens? You get absolutely battered 5-1. The Gunners are gunning for it right now, pun intended. But for real, like, you know, I mean, that's a result that you know, boggles the mind. Right, moving on to Sunday's results, and both results were draws actually. Crystal Palace getting a 1-1 draw against Newcastle United. I see that as more of a win for Palace and you know, Newcastle. And Liverpool drawing 2-2 against Tottenham Hotspur. Now that is more or less the kind of result you would expect out of these two teams, and are both kind of battling, you know, top 4 tier, you know, they're Champions League quality. You know, that's what they both expect, Champions League football now at the end of the season. But we'll see if they get it. And we had one more game from the Premiership that was on Monday, and what a result for Watford. 4-1 against Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea are one of the biggest teams in the Premiership, and Watford able to get a 4-1 victory over Chelsea. Absolutely outstanding. I am clapping my hands for you guys right now. Brilliant result for you guys. Now, on Tuesday we had the first round of the fourth round replays, because there was another game that was on Wednesday, and there was a game that I actually listened to. I was listening to the commentary of it, but we'll get into that now. And we got Birmingham drawing with Huddersfield in normal time. So after 90 minutes it was still 1-1, and then when it went into extra time, Huddersfield able to smash 3 goals in extra time home. So it ended 4-1 to Huddersfield after extra time against Birmingham City. Now, Birmingham, you dropped off the pace, you need to pick it back up and crack on. Fans of Rochdale will be happy to know that they've knocked out Millwall and fans in Millwall will be absolutely gutted, but it's all good, lads, it's all good. So Rochdale go through with a 1-0 victory over Millwall, and this is a kind of a big result. It says Notts County versus Swansea City. Now the reason they're in this replay is because they drawed the first game, so Swansea couldn't put Notts County away the first time. The second time, not only did they pull them away, they absolutely embarrassed them. 8-1 to Swansea City. I mean, come on, Notts County. Why couldn't you do this? Why couldn't you knock Swansea out? I mean, it's not asking much, is it? It's not. I mean, I don't know I don't know what I gotta do to make Swansea lose. What? Tell me, what have I got to do? Because I do not know. Anyway, the final game in the fourth round of the FA Cup replays was Tottenham Hotspur against Newport County. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was actually born in Newport, in the Newport Gwent Hospital. So, you know, I feel like Newport, you know, is the team to support. I was listening to the commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live. At least I think it was 5 Live, was it? I don't know. Right, let's not dwell on that. But I was listening to the commentary for it, and I was there. I was hoping, I was praying that Newport County could pull it out of the bag, and yeah, unfortunately they lost. It was 2-0, but at least, you know, they gave Tottenham a game. Well, I say they gave Tottenham a game. They gave Tottenham a game the first time around. This time, though, Tottenham completely dominated possession. They had 20, I think it was 22 shots altogether, 6 on target. Right, Tottenham, if you're taking that many shots, right, you should be hitting at least double figures at goal. Like, you know, I mean, that's kind of bad for you. And also, I think they had 74% of the possession, which, you know, Tottenham, honestly, right, when you got that much possession, that many shots at goal, and only 6 on target, and 2 of them were goals, you need to shape up, because, you know, sure, you got another potentially easier game right now in the 5th round against Rochdale, but, you know, I mean, if you play the way you did against County in the first, you know, the first 4th round game, and you play like that again in the 2nd round replay, you are not proceeding on to the quarterfinals. I'm sorry, but Tottenham, you need to pull your finger out and get back to form, because it was quite embarrassing looking at the amount of possession and everything that you had, and you only won by 2 goals, and one of those goals was an own goal by a Newport County player. So really, you only scored 1 goal, and a Newport County scored the other one for you. I mean, you know, it's kind of sad when you think about it. But anyway, moving on, we are going to look right now at the Premier League table and see what the results done to the league. 26 games in, there are 10 more, well, 12 more, yeah, 12 more to go. 10 more, what am I thinking? Anyway, Manchester City sit top of the league right now, sitting very pretty, 13 points clear, and they are on 69 points. Manchester United 13 points behind Man City, but 5 points ahead of Liverpool, and Liverpool able to just nip ahead of Chelsea because of that draw that they had against Tottenham, and Chelsea losing obviously to Watford. Tottenham are in 5th right now. Arsenal, with that brilliant 5-1 victory, are in 6th. Burnley able to get up to 7th. Leicester sitting kind of cozy right now in 8th. And then you got Bournemouth and Everton We got any more on the same points? Nope. Yep. Nope. Nope. Yep. Bournemouth and Everton both on 31 points, but Bournemouth ahead on goal difference, meaning that they're 9th, Everton 10th. Watford in 11th. West Ham United 12th. Brighton and Hove Albion behind West Ham, and hang on, I think that's goals scored. Yeah, I think West Ham are ahead because they scored more goals. Yeah, but yeah, Brighton and Hove Albion in 13th, lucky for some and lucky for most. Crystal Palace are behind both of those teams, West Ham and Brighton, on goal difference, and they're sitting in 14th. Southampton with that win. No, they didn't win, did they? Did they win? Hang on. You see, like, there's so many football scores, and I actually forget who won. Yes, they did win. They did win. Jesus Christ, there's so many football games. It's hard to keep up sometimes. Yeah, but Southampton with that win move up to 15th place. We've got Newcastle in 16th. Swansea City just hovering out of the drop zone on 24 points in 17th place. Only ahead of Stoke and Huddersfield by goal difference. Stoke just ahead of Huddersfield in 18th and 19th respectively, and West Brom are down at the bottom of the pile, 20th place with only 20 points. Hey, 20 and 20. Hey, you gotta have that kind of vision, 20/20 vision. You know it. Now, what have we got next? We have my favourite sport, my favourite competition, the NatWest Six Nations. Where to begin? Right, now, I think I'm going to start off with the most obvious result, which was England versus Italy. Now, I'm not going to lie, I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. Italy, you actually came to play. I mean, it was actually quite reassuring to see you play quite well. I mean, last year you caused England some problems. This year you caused England some problems. But once again, unfortunately, as it usually goes with, you know, the England-Italy fixture, England absolutely battered Italy, and it ended 46 points to 15. I'm not gonna lie, I mean, Italy, don't be discouraged. There was a lot of mistakes that you made, a lot of silly mistakes, I mean, but here's the thing, right? England, basically in the first 10 minutes, bang, bang, there you go, 2 tries. They're gone, right? They're away with it. They are loving life right now. And you know, you were able to come back and stop that momentum by England for the rest of the first half. You was able to do it, and that's the kind of game that we want from Italy. You know, that is the kind of game. I mean, you gotta take it to England. You can't, you know, just let them dictate the pace of the game. Because if they do that, then you know they're just gonna run rings around you. Now, also, we had 7 tries in that game, but let me tell you the halftime score though, because Italy, they did come back, right? The halftime score was 17 points to England and 10 points to Italy. So Italy did come back, and it was a very good performance in the first half from Italy, but England turned up the wick as they usually do in the second half, and then you had so many tries, and you know, I mean, we're talking England with 7 tries, and you know, not just that, 4 of those tries were converted and 1 penalty kick went over. I'm not gonna lie, the Farrell Ford combination in 10 and 12 is actually going to cause a lot of teams some problems because they play very well together. I mean, Farrell and Ford are able to play off each other brilliantly, and they created quite a lot of space and everything to get over for the try. Both men actually scored a try. Both Farrell and Ford go over. Watson, able to get 2 tries to his name. Lovely stuff. Simmons, the number 8. He came through, and I tell you what, right, he is quite a pacey number 8. I think he's more of a natural, flanker with that kind of pace, but it worked for England. He was able to hit those pockets and able to go. And fair play to England on that win. But Italy is the game you expect England to win. Now the challenge begins for England, and it starts this weekend, but I'll get into that in a minute. The other game that I'm gonna talk about right now is the France and Ireland game. And oh boy, the heavens opened, the rain was coming down, and ladies and gentlemen, controversy for the head injury assessment cropped his head up once again, but I ain't gonna comment on that. I can't be asked to. It's gonna be a mind effed up type of thing to discuss today, but let's just talk about the game, okay? France, immense in defense, you can't question it. Ireland, they were great in defense, but there was 1 try scored in this game, and it was scored by France. And I tell you what, this game was more about the kickers, and I'm not being funny. Sexton for Ireland is a hell of a kicker. I mean, he dictated that game. He was the only person on Ireland's team that was on the scoreboard, and it was all kicks, penalty kicks, penalty kicks, penalty kicks, penalty kicks. It literally, right, the game actually opened up in the last 10 minutes when France able to break through the Irish defence and get over for a try. I'm not going to pronounce the try scorer's name because I know I'm going to, butcher that name. But he gets over, scores a try, it gets converted. France are now in the lead of the game by 1 point. And then France crucially miss a penalty kick, which is quite simply, you would consider that a relatively easy penalty kick to get. But he missed it, must have been the conditions, and maybe he slipped a little bit, who knows. But he missed it, and that basically put the ball back in Ireland's hands, and Ireland, running through the phases. Now the clock's ticked over, bang, 80 minutes have gone. Next time the whistle goes, the game's over. Ireland through the phases, phase number 41, right? Phase number 41. They went through 41 phases of play before they was able to get the pass to Sexton for a 45-meter drop goal to win them the game. I mean, take nothing away from France. I mean, they are the only team in the Six Nations right now who hasn't had a try go against them. No one has, gone over the try line against France yet. So, Scotland, that's one thing you gotta look out for. Yeah, but Johnny Sexton, 45 meters out. That drop goal was insanity to take it, but at the end of the day, it was also genius to take it. I mean, I can't believe he actually managed to knock that one over as if it was nothing. And when the pressure's on like that, if you miss, the game's over and you've lost. but he didn't. He punted that straight over. I mean, that was a beautiful drop goal. It dipped perfectly as well. I mean, what can you say? I mean, his kicking game is he is one of the best kickers in the world, Sexton, and he proved it. He's proved it again. He has. I'm not gonna lie. And now we move in to the opening game of the NatWest Six Nations. Wales versus Scotland. Now, in my last podcast, I went on record saying that Scotland have momentum. Scotland are playing brilliantly. Scotland will probably win this game. How wrong was I? I mean, look, right. I support Wales all the way. Being a Welsh lad, of course I'm going to support Wales. But realistically, I thought Scotland had, the momentum. I thought Scotland had the ability to, take an easy win maybe against Wales. I mean, no win against Wales is easy anyway. But I was expecting Scotland to actually, get 4 points, maybe 5 points if the game was really fast paced. But I was expecting Wales to get at least the losing bonus point. That's how close I thought this game would have been. But I did think it would go in Scotland's favour. Oh my god. Straight away, Gareth Davies. Interception. Bang. Over the line. Lovely stuff. Lee Halfpenny getting over to score 2 tries. I mean, this man hasn't scored a try in, what was it, close to 40 international games. I mean, I think it's 30 something, but I think it was closer to 30, closer to 40 than it is to 30, but I can't quite remember. But he managed to score twice, and it's great to see Lee Halfpenny back as a try scorer once again. And the game, it was fantastic. I think it was 34 points to Wales, 7 points to Scotland. I mean, Scotland, they made crucial mistakes when they were in the Welsh 22. A couple of fumbles and that might have been able to turn the game around from, but at the end of the day, when you're playing at this level, you got to be able to adapt. And, well, it did look a lot like Scotland were trying to run the same play over and 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 over again. They were trying to get out wide. I mean, they were making mistakes. They were forcing the game, and there's just no need for it. There's just no need for it. You know how good the Welsh defence is. You haven't got to force the game. Try going through the phases. Maybe run a little bit more with ball in hand. Maybe hit that crash ball and that. Maybe try and create that little pocket of space to just go. But that being said, Wales with a emphatic victory and the bonus point for getting 4 tries. So this is how the table looks right now. England are ahead with 5 points, and they're only ahead by a few points that they managed to get extra against Italy than what Wales did against Scotland. I think there's 4 points between us in terms of the goal difference, but we're both level on 5 points overall. Ireland are sitting in 3rd place right now with 4 points. They were unable to get that 5th bonus point for getting 4 tries in the game, but the French defence was immense, and that you can't take nothing away from them. And because the French defence was so immense, it means that France are in 4th place, and they are in 4th place with 1 point because they lost with less than 7 points between them and the team that beat them. So they get a losing bonus point there. And then you got Scotland, who are ahead of Italy by the goal difference between their first games, and they're both on 0 points right now. So, looking ahead to what could be a very tasty game. Now, I say this could be a very tasty game. That's an understatement. It is gonna be a very tasty game. Why am I going on the... I want to see who is playing at home. Let me have a look. Right, so Saturday, the Italian squad that played, decent against England, and they played all right. The Italian squad now travel to Ireland to face the Irish. Now, I'm expecting Ireland to win this comfortably. I'm expecting the win plus the bonus point for Ireland. So yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Italy can only hope for less mistakes on ball. That's all Italy can hope for, because those little tiny mistakes cost them, ground when they were up against England. It allowed England to relieve pressure that the Italians built on them. But this is going to be another test for the Italians, and I think that they can play well enough to actually gain a losing bonus point against someone. They're going to be able to do it against someone, and maybe if they put it all together, they could actually get a win, and it would be unprecedented. But I'm expecting Ireland to absolutely batter them. I'm not going to lie. Ireland, 5 points in the bag, brings them right into the championship talks. This one, however, this game is a crucial game. Wales versus England at Twickenham. Now, Kay and Farrell were immense together against Italy. They were, I'm not going to deny, England are a strong side and are potentially favourites to win the championship for the third time in a row, which will be the first time ever in Six Nations history that has been won 3 times in a row. But here's the thing, I'm Welsh, and there's one team I do not want Wales to lose against. It is England. So you know what I'm predicting right here, because I can't back England to beat Wales. I can't do it. It's got to be a Welsh win, and I think we got the team we got. We're playing more ball in hand. We're creating spaces. I mean, the game against Scotland was very fast paced, and I don't think England will be prepared for it. And Wales are the great adapters, the great defenders, able to defend immensely, right? We don't need all the possession in the game to win the game. We just need some opportunities, and when we get those opportunities, we can be very clinical in our finishing. And you know what? England can be very clinical as well, but this is going to be a challenge for England, because in the autumn, I mean, Australia didn't turn up for them. They didn't. I mean, England got a massive victory against Australia, but Australia, they did not turn up. Wales, we're looking quite good. I got back Wales all the way here, so I'm going for a Welsh victory. I don't think it's going to be a huge victory. I'm predicting that England will get a bonus point for losing by being within 7 points. The way that both England and Wales are able to get tries is going to be interesting, because I do think that both Wales and England are capable of getting more than 4 tries. And if England lose, and they lose within 7 points but get more than 4 tries, they actually have 2 bonus points, So they could still be within the championship hunt even though they lost. But Wales, we have that first win for the Triple Crown. If we beat England on Saturday, I honestly believe that that is, Wales all the way to win the championship. I honestly believe that, because momentum will be heavily with the Welsh, and even though Ireland are no pushovers and that's what we got third, Ireland, they might not be ready for Wales. They might not be. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how England, Wales go. But I'm backing Wales all the way. Come on, Wales. Come ruin birth. I know I probably pronounced that wrong, but I got a nice little twinkle in my in my throat, which means I need to take a sip of coffee. So allow me to take a sip of that. Lovely stuff. And obviously then Sunday's game, the French travel to Murrayfield to go up against Scotland. Scotland, they're looking to bounce back, and they're looking to bounce back fast. The only thing I can say, Scotland, you got to cut the mistakes out, and you got to be able to adapt, because sticking with the same kind of tactic killed you against Wales. And when it did work, you were making fumbles left, right and centre. You were dropping ball, you were giving away possession. You basically gave Wales every opportunity to just clear their lines and keep you away. You were able to cut that out, then it will be a very different game against France. So hopefully Scotland are able to pull it out of the bag. Now, continuing on with fixtures, I do believe it is time to look at the Premier League fixtures for this weekend. So allow me to get that up a sec. And actually, right, I'm recording this on the 8th of February right now, right? And tomorrow, I'm just noting this because it's a Welsh team, okay? Millwall against Cardiff. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Why Millwall against Cardiff? It's going to be fighting going on. Jesus Christ. Hooligans galore. It's going to be a scrap going on. Anyway, right, let's have a look at the Premier League games for Saturday. We have the London Derby, North London Derby between Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal. I'm predicting an Arsenal win. Sorry Tottenham, I'm just predicting it. We got Everton versus Crystal Palace, and for that game I'm actually predicting an Everton win. Stoke City versus Brighton and Hove Albion, and I think Brighton might have her. I think Brighton got it. Swansea City versus Burnley. Come on Burnley. Beat Swansea. Don't relegate them. Just relegate them. It's not going to take too hard. Just get a couple of goals in. Get a couple of goals in the back of the net, and then hopefully they'll drop down. With the goal difference now. It's quite hefty right now. But go ahead and just get a couple of goals against them, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, hopefully Burnley can win that one. West Ham against Watford. I'm predicting a Watford win after the impressive win they had against Chelsea. I'm predicting a Watford win. And Manchester City against Leicester for the Premiership to be more interesting and not to have one team run away with it. I'm hoping Leicester can get the job done. I'm hoping anyway. I really do hope they can. Now, Sunday's games. Huddersfield versus Bournemouth, and I think that's going to be a draw. I honestly think that's a draw. And then this was an old rivalry from the mid-90s. This is Newcastle United versus Manchester United, and for me that's a Manchester United win. It is. And we got Southampton versus Liverpool. To be honest, that could be an interesting game. That might be another draw. And there is a game on Monday. I thought I didn't see them there. Chelsea are at home against West Brom. So I'm thinking that's an easy Chelsea win, but hell, let's face it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, hang on, we got Champions League by here and Europa. Okay. Now we're getting into some European kind of football by here. FC Basel against Manchester City. I'm predicting a Manchester City win in the first leg, which means they'll have an advantage going into the second leg. These games are on Tuesday, by the way. Tuesday the 13th of February. Also, we got Juventus versus Tottenham Hotspur. I think Juventus will win, but I reckon Tottenham will get an away goal to take back to Wembley. And Europa, oh my god, CSKA Moscow are going up against Red Star Belgrade. I probably butchered that, but if I didn't, happy days. I'm predicting a draw for that game, and we do have another championship game on that day as well, and I'm gonna say it because once again it's a Welsh team involved. Cardiff City against Bolton. So come on, Cardiff City, right? If there's Champions League games going on, there's going to be games on Wednesday, and there is. FC Porto play against Liverpool. I think that's more of an FC Porto game. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Portuguese team might have it. And then a big game, actually. This is going to be a crucial one. PSG and Real Madrid. I honestly think this will be a Real Madrid win, but I think that PSG might get an away goal. I'm thinking anyway. Right, also on Thursday we got more Europa League by here. FC Astana, probably butchered that, but it's all good, against Sporting Lisbon. I've only heard of Sporting Lisbon, so I'm going with them. Borussia Dortmund against Atalanta. Come on, can you make it easy for me? I mean, I'm a simple Welshman. I can't pronounce half of this. Anyway, I'm going with Dortmund for a win. Anyway, Landug, I don't know. Ludogorets. I probably butchered that as well, but it is what it is. Against AC Milan. AC Milan all the way for that one. Marseille against Sporting Braga. I'm thinking Marseille. Nice against Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm thinking Nice will probably have that one. Ostrasunds FK against Arsenal. That's Arsenal all the way. Real Sociedad. I don't know. RB Slashenberg. I'm thinking Real Soccer might have it. Spartak Moscow against Atletico Bilbao. I'm thinking Athletic Bilbao or whatever. Athens versus Dynamo Kiev. I'm thinking Dynamo might have that. Celtic against Zenit St. Petersburg. Finally, a team I can pronounce. Zenit St. Petersburg. Yeah, just because they're from a different country doesn't mean I can't pronounce them all. Yeah, but I'm thinking Celtic might have that one. FC Copenhagen versus Atletico Madrid. And I'm thinking that's an Atletico win. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, bloody hell. Studia Birchcrast, I don't know. I'm butchering all these names by ear. Against Lazio. I'm thinking that's a Lazio win, only because Lazio is the only team I've heard of today. But yeah. Lyon versus Villarreal. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a very good game. I don't know what to vote for that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that one might be a draw. Right. Napoli versus RB Leipzig. What? RB Leipzig? Leipzig? What the hell kind of name is that? Come on. Oh my, are you taking the mic by your Partizan Belgrade versus Victoria Plzen. And I have no idea, so I'm just going to say a draw. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, we got FA Cup games on Friday. But I'm just going to read the Friday games because, at least we know that there's an FA Cup on Friday. And it's a fifth round. We got Leicester versus Sheffield United and Chelsea versus Hull. I won't go any further into the weekend because obviously the next episode of the Red Dragon Sportscast will be out by then. So, yeah, we had some very good games to look forward to in both football and rugby. And obviously, we had some great sport this weekend. Congrats to KSI again. Congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. Commiserations to Newport County. Congrats to Watford. Hey, nice win. Nice win, lads. And congrats to Wales. Congrats to England. And congrats to Ireland. Game on. Let's get cracking. Also, remember, if you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already, drop a like down. And of course, you can follow me on my social media accounts. They're on the screen right now. You can see them. They're right there on the screen. But also the links will be in the description. I've been Mike. You've been here for the second episode of the Red Dragon Sportscast. And we shall catch you next week for episode number 3. Lego.